The Adams Road website, that's my kid's ministry, right? The son who got saved while on his Mormon mission. The day that he got kicked off his mission, he's telling his Mormon parents, I'm going to have a ministry. And I did not know what a ministry was. I remember saying to him, are you starting your own church? He knew from the moment he got saved that God had called him to reach back to the Mormon people. Adams Road put this together. This is one of the most useful things. I use this absolutely every day with people transitioning out of Mormonism. It's called the LDS Doctrine Topical Guide. You can find it on their website, LDS Doctrine Topical Guide. It's both in the free materials store and it's under resources. Every day I use this. This is 40 things I was taught in Mormonism and all the biblical scriptures that tell the truth on that topic. So, temples. What does God say about temples? Pre-existence. What does God say about that? Priesthood. What does the God of the Bible say about that? And lots of other topics. Very, 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 very helpful. I'm in the middle of writing a book right now for Christians who are mentoring Mormons out of the church, and this is the appendix. And even if you have a really strong Mormon, I will just plant these scriptures as questions. Took a young Mormon kid to lunch that had just come back from his mission in Idaho not too long ago. And I would say things like, so what do you do about those scriptures that, like, from the Bible that teach things that are different from Mormonism? And, of course, at first they always say, well, there are no such things. The Bible completely defends Mormonism, right? A biblical defense of Mormonism. A Mormon apologist wrote a book called that a few years ago. So I'll pull out a couple. I'll say, but I've been reading in the Bible, and this seems to me like it conflicts. Do you mind making them the expert, right? Especially if it's a missionary. Making them the expert. Do you mind reading this out loud and telling me what you think God meant when he said this? So, of course, one of the first things the missionaries teach is the great apostasy, right? So I'll pull out, on this rock I'll build my church and the gates of hell won't prevail against it. And I'll say, wait a minute, you tell me after the 12 apostles died, the church that Jesus set up failed? It failed, but the one Joseph Smith set up didn't fail. So Jesus himself, when he said, I'm going to establish my church and the gates of hell won't prevail against it, did he not know his church would go into apostasy? Is Jesus not able to foresee those things? Is this not translated correctly? Just planning some of those things with questions, but not being direct and offensive and unkind. I've even got very strong Mormons, like stake presidents, to read the book Unveiling Grace. And this is what I'll do. I used to be a Mormon, and now I'm a Christian. I'm a biblical Christian. And I wonder if you would read this book and give me feedback. Will you tell me, is this what the Mormon church still believes? Is this, I would like to be accurate. And I really would, right? And so I've had very active Mormons that will read the book, write in the margins, call me up and say on such and such a page, yeah, that's what we believe, but I wouldn't have said it quite like that. And then, of course, they choke down a Christian gospel, and God may or may not do something with that at some point in time, right? There are certainly ways to be loving and respectful, and I highly recommend the LDS Doctrine Topical Guide.